With the automotive retail industry being such a high target for ransomware groups right now, and coming in post-incident, when Findlay had its ransomware attack in June of 2024, one of the things that I knew that I needed was Halcyon, just to make sure that there were no gaps during the recovery between our EDR solution and our backup, and that I knew that there was something extra out there protecting us just in case there were some backdoors or something left by the ransomware group that hit us in June. Immediately after deploying Halcyon in our environment, it started finding stuff that our other security tools didn't. So we were finding malicious PDF readers, fake calendar invites that were actually EXEs, all sorts of pups. So it was finding a lot of stuff that other things were just ignoring. So we were able to actually do a lot of cleanup in our environment once Halcyon was deployed. And we only left Halcyon in learning mode for about 2 months during the deployment, and then we flipped the switch and haven't had any issues since then. Being in a dual role as CIO and CISO, it can be difficult to strike a balance between resilience, IT operations, and the securing of it. So one of the things that Halcyon has really helped me show the organization is that security and IT can very easily coexist. And one of the things that I wanted to show my leadership with Halcyon was how quickly that we could recover in the if there was an incident within the organization, because they had gone through a very painful recovery process during the ransomware attack. So I was able to show them through Halcyon how resilient the organization could be and how easily we could recover should there be a successful attack again. They were amazed at the speed and efficacy of Halcyon because that's not what they experienced at all. When I came into the organization, they were still somewhat in recovery mode 3 months after the attack. When I think about Halcyon and anti-ransomware solutions, no other competition comes to mind. Halcyon is the only company that does what it does with the key capture, the ease of rollback. I've seen other recovery solutions, and they're not as fast, they're not as efficient. And I honestly have to say that I didn't really consider any other companies that term themselves as anti-ransomware when looking for a solution. I knew Halcyon was the company that I wanted to go for the solution. So one of the areas where Halcyon has made a difference in the organization for being able to recover from a ransomware attack is some of the detections of those malicious PDF readers, because we have our employees downloading things willy-nilly off the internet, and Halcyon being the only software tool that's actually been detecting them, we've been able to block them from being executed once they're detected and possibly preventing any ransomware actions in our network. So it's been very effective. And I'm kind of surprised with some of the, tools that we have for EDR and detection and response, that those other tools aren't seeing what Halcyon is seeing in our environment. It's been pretty eye-changing and eye-opening for my security team to have a tool like Halcyon alert them about things that are going on in the environment that the other tools are missing, and just how bad some of those things are. Very easily being able to add overrides and blocks within the Halcyon system to get them shut down once they're detected. So in light of the evolving threats against the automotive industry, I have been making other peers in the industry aware of Halcyon's offering. I think the industry as a whole is becoming more aware of how it's being targeted, just because of the attack against Findlay. There was the attack against CDK Global, which is a dealer management system that I think 17,000 dealerships relied on for sales and service. So I think that was really eye-opening for the industry in realizing that there is a big target on our attack, and also realizing we have a ton of customer data that needs to be protected. And I've just been spreading the word about Halcyon and what the company can do, what the software can do, not only from an anti-ransomware protection perspective, but also the data exfiltration, data protection, The Halcyon solves a lot of the critical pain points and risks for the automotive industry. I've known about Halcyon for quite a number of years. My husband is part of the Sin Ventures CISO advisory board, so I've gotten to know John Miller over a number of years, and I've always been a fan of the company from the very beginning of when the company started, and really the mission of it, because when I was in threat intelligence with an MSSP before, we were dealing with ransomware attacks in 2015 where it was indiscriminate. It was hitting hospitals, schools, grandmothers, nonprofits, everything. So, seeing a company like Halcyon come up and have the mission to stop ransomware and help the victims of ransomware recover is really resonated with me. So, like I said, been a really big fan of the company since day one. And I have to say, though, I can't think of any other companies that do what Halcyon does. I mean, you guys are like kind of one diamond in the rough, basically. It's like, I know people say anti-ransomware solutions and stuff like that, but I can't think of another company that does what Halcyon does. So one of the ways that I try to stay on top of what Halcyon is doing is that I think every week you guys post stuff on LinkedIn, threat intelligence briefings, which I really enjoy reading, and trying to stay on top of what's going on with the ransomware groups and just the industry as a whole. But then also, we've had a really great account team holding our hand through the implementation process. And then now I think we've gone to somewhat quarterly check-ins with our account team, but just having somebody there in the back end, knowing that if I have a question or a problem with the Halcyon, I've got, a direct line of contact to somebody at the company that I can call. And, they're also, the company's been really good about sending out updates to, I think, our email distribution list that we signed up for, so that we are aware of updates that are coming out. So I've really appreciated actually communication from Halcyon as a customer. Where I think Halcyon has the biggest impact for the organization is, like I've said, just having peace of mind and being able to sleep soundly at night, knowing that even if there are some critical gaps between our backups or our EDR solutions, there's something else out there known as Halcyon that is also protecting us. And if, God forbid, something get through the cracks and even start executing, that Halcyon knows how to detect it and how to roll it back automatically without any of my IT people or my security operations team having to wake up in the middle of the night and push a button. And I think that really is a key value for having Halcyon in our environment, is just having an extra layer of protection and having something that acts automatically when something is bad is detected without having somebody to push a button in the back end. The cost of not having a solution like Halcyon is very real to Findlay Automotive because we went through a successful ransomware attack. And I'm not sure the organization actually realized how critical not having access to our IT systems was until the incident occurred. I unfortunately can't disclose the amount, but it's a lot. And so when I asked to buy Halcyon for the environment, it was kind of a no-brainer for the organization because they knew how much it would cost to have another incident versus what I would say Halcyon doesn't cost as much as people might think it does. So it was a really easy win and a really easy answer and approval for me to get the budget to deploy Halcyon in our environment because we knew how much it would cost us if we didn't have it.